Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are just going to learn about customizing and configuring the Ventoy USB for different purpose. So we know the default theme of the Ventoy that is very weird, and if you love the rising and if you love to customize the things like terminals and different things on the Linux, then you might be wondering to know how to customize or configure the Ventoy USB. Today in this video we are just going to look over to different plugins of the Ventoy. So there are lots of plugins that Ventoy offers which makes our daily work easier, and we are not going to customize or configure the Ventoy USB drive in a typical way, that is just creating out the ventoy.json file in the USB drive and manually writing the code onto that file. So we are just going to use the VentoyPlugson that is given us by the Ventoy official website. So that is pretty much better than just using that typical way. So let me just show you what I am talking about. Let's just go to the download directory and we are just going to the Ventoy. When you just download the Ventoy from the official website, you will just get these kind of files on the Ventoy directory, and you will have a lots of binary. There might be the different use case of that binary, so you can manually check out them as well. So for configuring the Ventoy plugins, we have the VentoyPlugson.sh script, so which is a shell script, and this will only run on the Linux system. If you have downloaded the tar.gz file or the zip file of the Windows, you may find it there. So for running that, we have to identify the USB drive that you have made it multi-bootable using the Ventoy. So we have created the multi-bootable USB drive previously using the Ventoy. So let me just do sudo /l for checking out the disks that is available on the system. So we have just created the multi-bootable USB drive of 3.75 gigs, so which is almost 4 gigs. If you have the more or larger storage USB drive, then you are lucky enough to make the multi-bootable USB drive of more than 10 or more than 100 ISO image. So you can just create your own rescue USB drive, or you can just create your own antivirus scanner, or you can also create your own hacking machine with the USB. So let me just show you how we can run the VentoyPlugson.sh. So for that, we have to specify the sudo /VentoyPlugson.sh followed by the drive name. So drive name will be the device path, so that is the dev/stb. So let's just press the enter, and after that it will just give us the localhost path with the port. So if this fail, just don't forget that your USB drive needs to be mounted. So just simply go to the browser and just paste this address, and boom, so here you can see out the device information, and you will just see the web version of the VentoyPlugson for configuring the different plugins that Ventoy offers. So it's a pretty cool web application, and it's really amazing. It will just make your work easier, and it's just saving your day, and you don't need to suck your head for an hour to understand what types of syntax does Ventoy.json needs. If you just do it manually, it may be failed many times because there might be the alerts of syntax error while creating the Ventoy.json file manually. So for the first, we have the device information. You can see out the device information, and you can check out the capacity as well and file system. So our default partition type is the MBR. If you want to set it to the GPT, so you can also set it to the GPT while installing the Ventoy to the USB drive using the Ventoy2disk.sh utility. So let me just go to the global control plugin. So from here you can change out the different arguments and different options that the Ventoy offers to us. So we have the lots of options like Ventoy default keyboard layouts, and if you want to change that too, then you can also change it. So we have the other option as well. So I'm not going to change anything on the global control plugin. So we are just going to use the theme plugin for changing out the themes of the Ventoy. So I don't even like the default theme of the Ventoy. So if you are one who don't like the default theme of the Ventoy, then this one is really amazing for you. So you can easily change out the themes using the Ventoy theme plugins from the Plugson.sh utility. So we have to just simply press on the add button, and we can just specify the path for the theme. So you might be wondering to know how to download the theme for the Ventoy. So it's really easy. So just head over to the link that is given on the description. So Ventoy is based on the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗢, so you can easily use out the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗢 themes for Ventoy theme. Let's just go and search for the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗢 themes, and here you get the 𝗥𝗘𝗦 theme as well. Just go on to the link that is provided on the description, and you will see some 𝗥𝗘𝗦 themes, and just download the 𝗥𝗘𝗦 themes that you like, and we can begin. So if you are confused on how to download the 𝗥𝗘𝗦 themes, let me just show you. Let's just select this theme, and here you can see that it's looking pretty nice, and we can just simply go to the file section, and you can just simply download the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗢 themes. So after going to the file section, you can just simply press on the version that you like, and you can just download it. So after downloading the tar.gz file, now let's just go to the terminal, and let me just go to the another section, and let's just go to the download directory, and we have the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗢 themes directory. So you will just get this kind of tar.gz file, and you have to extract it. So there might be the another version of the zip file as well, so that there might be the zip file, and there might be the also tar.xz, or there might be also tar.gz. So don't be confused on that. You will just Google about how to extract the tar.gz or tar.xz, you will get it. And let me just show you by extracting the one theme. So we can just simply use the tar.xzf in order to extract the tar.gz file. You have to just simply copy and paste the file, and like this you can just simply extract the tar.gz. So for the tar.xz, we have to do something like tar-xf followed by the file name. So we have the vmix 1080p tar.xz. So like this you can extract the xz or gz file. So let me just first remove and rm-r vmix.1080p. So let me just extract the tar.xf vmix.1080p.tar.xz. So we get the directory called vmix.1080. Don't just copy this directory. We have to go to the specific directory and check for the themes directory only. So here you can see that we have the installation script license as well as the vmix. So we don't need to copy these two files. We just need to copy the vmix directory. So let's just go to the vmix directory, and here you can see out the themes file. So let's just go to the one step back, and let me just show you by opening the file manager. So when you just first open your USB drive, you will see these kinds of files. So you can manage the ISO image like this as well by just creating the subdirectory. And if you don't want this kind of subdirectory, if you don't want to just manage your ISO image properly, then you can just simply paste out the ISO file to this parent directory as well. So I have just created the ISO directory and manage the ISO as per my need. Just simply go to the Ventoy directory, and you will just find out if the Ventoy directory is not created, you have to create it manually. So if you are just using the VentoyPlugson.sh utility, you don't need to create out that Ventoy directory, and you just don't need to create the Ventoy.json as well. So when you just first run the VentoyPlugson.sh for the first time, it will automatically create the Ventoy.json and Ventoy directory. So the themes directory is the one which you need to create it manually, and just copy the themes to this directory. So as you can see that I have 3 themes on my themes directory. What you need to do is you just need to simply copy the vmix directory to the Ventoy themes directory. So let me just copy the themes directory, and we can simply do the cp-rv vmix to the /run/media/ followed by the username, and followed by the drive name, and followed by the Ventoy, and followed by themes. We just need to do this, and we can just simply press the enter. So like this we can easily copy out the themes to the Ventoy themes directory. So you can also copy out the multiple themes to this directory as well. So you can copy the themes as much as you can on this directory. So let's just go back, and we are on the official website. And after copying the themes on the themes directory, you have to just specify the path for the theme. So let's as you can see that I have already added the 2 themes here, and I will show you by adding the 3rd theme. So let me just go to the theme directory, and let's go to the Mr. Robot theme, and let's copy the theme directory here. and after copying we can simply press through the add button, and we have to paste the path here, and after that just add the forward slash and just add the theme.txt, and like this you can easily add out the themes to the Ventoy configuration. Likewise you can also see out the status on here, and if you just got the failed status on here, just assume that your theme is not working. After that we have the display mode, so you can also switch to the CLI, serial and the serial console. So mostly modern system uses the GUI mode for viewing out themes of the Ventoy, and if your system is very old that does not support the GUI mode, then you can easily switch to the CLI mode. And here you can see out the optional setting, that is the GFX mode, which is basically a resolution of your display. So you can select out the screen display as well. There is a 1080 as well. Based upon your system you can select out the resolution here, and there is another optional setting as well. If you want to give the specific path for the font, then you can also select out the font here. And the configuration has been reloaded. Let us go and check the USB drive. For checking the USB drive we are just going to use the QEMU. My friend system will be the x86-64 followed by the dev/stb. So I think it's a stb. Let's go and check. So let's press the enter and let's go to the third workspace and let's wait. So you can see out that the themes is working. I have set out the default theme for the Ventoy. So let me just view, and we are just going to use the full screen. So you can see out that the resolution is not very good because I have not set out the resolution for the Ventoy. So for the QEMU, and we can even select the ISO image as well. So there is one thing missing, that you can see out that it's showing the whole ISO name. So we can also set out the alias for the ISO name as well. We can set out the short names for the ISO images. So and you can also see on the left side there is the icon is showing on the ISO image. So we call them as a menu class. So we will be looking over that later in a video. So let me just press the F5 on the keyboard. When you just press the F5 on the keyboard, it will just open up the tool section for the Ventoy. So you will see these kinds of tool section on the Ventoy, and you can also see out that there is option for selecting the theme as well, and we can just simply press on the theme selection option and we can also select the theme as well. So if you have set up the multiple themes on the system, then you can also easily select the themes. As you can see that I have the another theme as well. As you can see that I have selected the another theme. We can easily press out the escape on the keyboard for going off to the back, and you can see out that the theme is working perfectly. So let me just close this window and let's just go to the menu alias. So we are just going to set up the alias for the two ISO image, and let us go to cd/run/media/ followed by the ISO, and I have the Delhi driver, and under that I have the 𝗟𝗜𝗡𝗦. So let me just go to the pwd and let's just copy the path, and we are just going to add the menu alias for the file. If you want to set up the menu alias for the directory, then you can also do that. Let's press on the OK, and we have to add the file path here, driver followed by the ISO image, that will be the 𝗟𝗜𝗡, and let's just go and paste it here, and the alias for the 𝗟𝗜𝗡 will be the 𝗟𝗜𝗡 2022. So we have added the first alias successfully. Now let's just go for the another, and let's click on add, and that will be also for the file, and we are just going to replace this ISO image with this, and we are going to set up the alias for Metis Linux 2022. So boom, we have just added the alias for the ISO image. By setting up the alias, you can easily see out the short name instead of the ISO image. So let me just show you. Let's see, does it work or not. So boom, so as you can see that we have successfully set up the alias for the ISO image. Now we are just going to look over to how to set up the icons, that is menu class for the ISO image. So it's really easy. Let me just close this machine and let's just press on the Q, and let's go to the terminal, and we're just going going to stop this and replace STB with the STA. And remember that if the changes does not work, you have to plug out the USB drive and plug in again. So we are just going to copy this address and let's go to the browser and paste the address. And let's go to the menu class. And here you can see out that I have added some menu class item. So this might be the really confusing for the beginners, and it's really easy to add the menu class plugin. So for that we have to understand the key and the menu class. So key will be the beginning or the characters of the ISO image, and menu class will be the characters of the icons. So let me just show you the icons there. When you just go to the Ventoy and themes, you can see are the different themes. So I am using the vmix theme. When you just simply press on the vmix theme directory, you can see out the icons directory. When you just go onto the icons directory, you can see out the icons for the Arch Linux and icons for the Linux. So that is the default or the unknown icon. So if you want to use these icons, so you have to specify the class. So here you can see out the class for this icon is the Linux, and you can see out the class for this icon is Arch. You can also see the EndeavourOS, you can also see the Fedora, and that is really easy to use out the class. Talking about the ISO image, so that will be our key. Let me just show you. You can simply go to the ISO and daily driver. You can see out the key is the Arch Linux 2022 and the Mate space. So we are just going to use the Linux class for this OS, and we are going to use the Arch class for this Arch Linux. So let me just delete this, and let's go and add that will be the key, and we are just going to OK, and key will be the Arch Linux and class will be the Arch. The reason why I said the Arch Linux on the key is because the ISO image names start with the Arch Linux. So we are just setting the menu class plugin for the another ISO image. So that will be the Metis - and Linux will be the class. So when we just add it successfully, and the themes will be there, icons will be there. So there is something that you need to know about the menu class plugin as well. So when you just simply click on the plugins official documentation, so you will just go onto the Ventoy menu class plugin. So here you can see on the button that you can just add the built-in class as well. We can add the different option in the F5 tool. So F5 tool is a really amazing tools collection for the Ventoy. So you can add out the different class for the F5 tool section. From here you can also set out the theme selection as well. For setting the theme selection plugin, you can just you have to simply just copy this plugin, and you have to go for the VentoyPlugson, and you can just simply press on the add, and you have to specify the key, and you can specify the class here, and you can specify the anything on the key. So if you have the icons on the icons directly, you can also specify the icon as well. So if you don't have, you can just simply specify something like that, BUILT built-in class as well. Like this, you can just simply add the theme select option. So I'm just going to delete it because I have just already added. Let's go and run the QEMU. And when we just simply press the F5 on the keyboard, you can see out the changes on the F5 menu. So if the changes are not showing on your Ventoy, then you have to reload the VentoyPlugson. If you are just testing your USB drive to the real system, you don't have to face this kind of problem, because I'm just showing, or I'm just testing my USB drive to the QEMU emulator. So let's just go on to the screen display mode, or you can also go on to the option like hardware information. You can also check out the keyboard layouts, and if you want to reboot, then you can just go on to the reboot section as well. So this was really easy on using out the plugins and using out or configuring the Ventoy themes. So here you can see out the lots of plugins for the Ventoy. You can see out the persistent plugins that will help you to save out your data on the USB drive even after you boot out the operating system next time. So here is another plugins that is really amazing. You can set up the passport plugin in order to set the passport for the specific IOC image or the directories on the Ventoy. So you can use this plugin in order to set the passport while putting into the specific IOC image. So that is really amazing. You just need to select this default passport for all .iso file, and you have to just press on the edit, and you can just simply give the passport here. So if you want to give the MD5 or MD5 with the salt, you have to specify the hash with the salt, and that's pretty easy. And if you want to just give the plain text, then you have to just check on the txt button, and you can just simply enter your string or the passport. So that's really easy. And if you want to set up the boot passport, then you can also add it here. And if you want to check the detail about the plugins of the Ventoy, then you can also go to the official documentation of the plugins. Here you can see out that, and you can detailedly read about the Ventoy plugins. So let me just close this, and this much for today.